Yeah, good evening, colleagues. Good evening, friends. Good evening, family. From Kenya, from Ghana, from South Africa. I want to thank you for joining the meeting. We want to thank God because of this precious moment that He has given us so that we can learn together, so that we can start the journey of transforming the world together. Because I believe we are going to learn will not only help us become better people, it's going to help us be impactful in wherever we are, in whatever we are doing. I want to request Dr. Owande to start us off with a word of prayer.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Let us take this opportunity to pray. Let's bow. Our heavenly and everlasting Master, Lord, we come before you at this point to thank you and to adore your name for having been with us throughout this long journey. Father, we don't take it for granted that we managed to cross over from 2023 to the new year 2024. Lord, before we begin this meeting in the new year, we call upon you to take charge. Father, may you be with our facilitator and all the participants from wherever they are. Father, how we pray that this meeting be fruitful in our lives and we may be able to impact the entire world with regards to education for sustainable development. Father, may you give us good hearing, give us good network connectivity, that we may be able to take part and follow this program to the end. We thank you and bless your name as we begin. Lord, may you go ahead of us. Be with us throughout the entire meeting until we come to the end. This is my humble prayer in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
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 Amen. Thank you so much. Let me give you an opportunity, Dr. to say hi to the team and introduce yourself.
All right. Once again, thank you, Dr. For this ample opportunity that you've given to me to say hi to my colleague members who are attending this meeting. My name, as you've heard, I'm Dr. Joshua Wande. I'm an educationist and I have a great love for environment. And that is why I'm getting time to attend this important event. Dr. I've known for quite some time. Even before he flew out of the country, we worked together, and I'm looking forward to working further with you and the entire fraternity. That is all the members that are joining this meeting. I hope it's going to be fruitful, and at the end of it all, we'll have something new to take back home. Thank you for this opportunity, and I hope we're going to learn together. Asante.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to request each one of us to say hi using the chat. Please introduce yourself using the chat because I don't want us to take a lot of time. I want to stop at exactly 8:30 so that you can go to sleep. So introduce yourself using the chat, write your name, where you are coming from, and please, my friends from Ghana and South Africa who promised to join us, when you join the meeting or if you are there already, just let me see your hand so that you can say hi to the Kenyans. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Amboko. Thank you, Beatrice, Candy. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, David, Mayodi, my friend. Thank you for joining this meeting again. Thank you, David Onyango. Thank you, Duncan. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Justus Ngumbi, Karoki. Thank you so much. Kennedy Kunani, my comrade, power. Comrade power. Thank you so much, Kunani. Thank you for the way you are really driving peace in Kenya. Thank you so much. Kunani, I'll give you some minutes to say hi to the team later. Okumu, thank you so much. Linda Ayuku, thank you. Lydia, thank you. Mr. Mwangi, thank you so much. Nelaya, thank you so much. Nora, thank you. Priscilla, Victor Ezra, Victor of a few, Zipporah Kuto, Moses, Winfried Silla. I don't know who, there's somebody I've left out at the moment. We are around 30 in the room, and I think we are a good number to start off. Thank you for joining this great meeting where we are just going to learn. You are going to learn, I am going to learn. Because my position at this point, I am simply facilitating learning. And when you are facilitating learning, you learn even in the process of facilitating. Sometimes I listen to myself because I believe some of the things I say are divinely given to me. So if I don't listen to myself, I will be giving them to you without helping myself. Now, this is my first slide of my presentation. I have said that we are going to start with the introduction to education for sustainable development. And we are focusing on transforming education for a sustainable future. Transforming education for a sustainable future. There are people without mics. I don't know if there is someone who can help me to just write a message to them and request them to join with audio. Join with audio, because if they don't join with audio, they will not hear us. Not everyone. Yeah, and please, when you join the meeting, mute yourself so that we can be able to learn without any distraction. Thank you so much. So as I was saying, I am simply a facilitator of learning, and the session that we are going to learn today basically is the introduction to the master class of education for sustainable development. So I have written a manuscript that has 8 modules that will enable you go deep into what education for sustainable development is. Because education for sustainable development has the power, because it has everything in it that we require to transform our lives, transform the lives of other people, and also to transform our planet. Now, I have written the three, I have started with the 3 pillars of behavior change, and at the sides, on top, at the bottom, on the sides, I have written MAD, M-A-D. So what that MAD simply means is make a difference. So if you have a book next to you, please write this down. Make a difference. Because as I start facilitating learning, the aim of doing what I am doing is simply to help each one of us to go out and make a difference. And we are going to make this difference by thinking about how we are going to have a sustainable change within us, a sustainable change around us, and even in our neighborhood. So what are we going to do to be able to MAD? For us to MAD, to make a difference, we need to start by motivating ourselves, motivate the person, connect with feeling and identity, make the effort small, whether small, and support, train yourself to encourage yourself to have a growth mindset. After motivating you yourself as a person, I want you to motivate someone else, because you cannot make change by your own self. You cannot make a difference by your own self. Think about the path. Let us now look at the path that we are going to take to bring about this change that we are calling sustainable change. Shape that path. Improve the physical environment. Engage champions. When you have people next to you who are great in the things that they are doing, we call them champions. Engage them to work with you to bring the difference that we are talking about. Leverage useful habits and systems. As we are going to learn, we are going to know that for us to make this change, behavior is very, very important. The habits that we form, our character, is very, very critical. And then we must have a clear direction on where we are going. Engage the rational mind, amplify what is working, explain why it is working, and what specific actions are needed to make this change. So from the point go, take note of these 3 pillars of behavior change: having a clear direction, motivating the person, and I said the person is me first, and then others, and then shape the path. Identify the path that you are going to use, and make sure you are taking care of that path from the beginning to the end. So my name is Dr. Christine K.Obaigwa Owinyi, and I want to thank God because of Education for Sustainable Development. On the 20th of December, 2023, I was awarded an honorary doctorate degree that was supported by a master's degree on top. So that is why you've seen me write PhD on EdD. So I have 2 doctorates. And that is why now my style of writing my name changed for 2024. So you can be the next person to be honored. And I want to motivate each one of you to do your best after learning what we are going to learn. Because we have to start by knowing how to feed the community. I want to use what Lisa Henberg has given us. We need to be supportive. We need to support one another. Help someone make progress and move forward. In other words, I am giving you the reasons why I am having this free online training on education for sustainable development. Help someone make progress and move forward. You need to be innovative and expand. Yeah? You need to start thinking big. Stop being narrow-minded. Expand your mind. Get to know that you can do even much more than you have ever done before. Be a proactive person. Yeah? Offer mentorship, coaching, help people to grow. That is why when I was sending out this message, I said, come, let us grow together. When you have some knowledge that you have been given by God, or you have acquired through maybe the places you have been and the learning you have had, purpose to educate others. Yeah? Because knowledge is non-rivalry. Knowledge, remember I said knowledge is non-rivalry. When you have it, you have it. And if you don't give it out to somebody else, it will not multiply. So when I give this to you, I don't fall short of what I have. I am simply multiplying my ideas so that my idea can even grow bigger and bigger by you also educating somebody else. Connect, build relationships, create common bonds, connect with people. As human beings, we were created for relationships. That is why I am so, I don't know, sometimes I bore people on the WhatsApp walls, but I am always there because I know by communicating, by engaging, by sharing the little that we have, we will be able to help someone else become better. Be there, share good stuff, contribute. When somebody has shared some information on the WhatsApp wall, be part of it, yeah? Contribute, say something about it to encourage the originator of that particular content. And personally, and finally, resonate. Remind yourself, remind others, reiterate to create alignment. When somebody has given you information, it is important, it is good to remind others of what you have been learning or of what you have received. It is good to look for a way to also reiterate and also share with those people or that person what God has given you. That is why I have opened my Zoom account to anyone who wants to share with the world, with anybody, because I have paid for this link. It is there. You can host up to 100 people. When I am not using it, it is just there. So if you have maybe a meeting you want to have with your people, you can let me know so that I can share the link for you to share freely without you having to pay money to have people learn from you. Yeah, so imagine I am there, I am the one in front, I am trying to show you where we are going, because successful people build each other up. They motivate, they inspire, and push each other. And successful people just hate, blame, and complain. You are in a wall, maybe a WhatsApp wall, where people are just complaining. Just know that there is a problem. But if you are in a wall where people are sharing information, inspiring you, motivating each other, trying to tell one another, let us continue, let's do this, we are going to make it. That is where we have successful people. Join the group that has successful people, and you too will be successful. Now, welcome to the ESD journey. If you look at this picture that I have just posted, we have diversity is represented here, where we have everybody on board. It doesn't matter whether you are a person with a light complex or a dark complex. When we are talking about education for sustainable development, we are talking about matters that relate with everyone. And in ESD, as we always say, we don't leave anyone behind, because this is information that is meant to transform the world. Because in this information, God is there. Because what we are talking about, we are simply talking about empowering the future. Yeah? Education for sustainable development, what it is. Before we get to know what it is important to know that in this journey, we want everybody on board. Everybody should come in. Everybody is welcome. Whether you are abled this way or abled that way, whether you are from Africa, from America, from Canada, from wherever, from South Africa, from Ghana, from Australia, from wherever, everybody is welcome. If you look at this table below here, just the same way these waves have intermingled That is the way we are supposed to live as human beings. And if we have to live like that, then we will realize that it is important to uphold values in our lives. It is important to ensure that we live peacefully. So when we get into the journey of education for sustainable development, you will have to purpose to shed off some habits, to shed off some bad characters so that you uphold good virtues that will lead to development. And also you have to purpose to be a peacemaker, a person who is peaceful at all times. Because for us to bring about the transformation that we are going to talk about, then we must learn to collaborate with others now more than before. Because collaboration is the only way we can be able to make the difference that I said from the beginning. Now, let us set the stage for our journey. As I've also already said, ESD is all about transforming education to create a more sustainable future. It is a journey of growth, it is a journey of understanding, and it is a journey of action. Now, why ESD? I always say that when the why is clear, the how is easy. I have already told you why I started these online classes. Because if my why is clear, then how to do it will be very easy. As you all, okay, some of you know, some don't know, I'm talking to you from Canada. And at this time, it is very difficult to find people in Canada having time for anyone or for anything else. Because in Canada, life is so fast. That is why it is called a fast world. It is fast and fast. Fast world country, in the sense that all that you do here is either you are resting or you are working. And working for money. Because every work you do, any little work you do is paid for. Even if it is sweeping the snow from the road, yeah, for 1 hour, you are given $15. I mean, so it is either work or rest. So when my why was clear that I really want to make a difference, then how to do it is now very easy for me. Continue introducing yourselves. And now, why education for sustainable development? The screen that I have started off with is very dark, as you can see. There is nothing. The screens that I shared before were very colorful with a lot of messages, but this one is black and dark. It is black and dark in the sense that a world without education for sustainable development looks like this. People don't see what is ahead. People don't see what is inside. People are just there. And the result of being there is red. Red means danger. People will start killing one another. They kill animals. They kill the plants. You cut down trees. I mean, it is about destruction. And red means destruction. When it is dark, the result is red. But when you bring in education for sustainable development, which I usually use the white color to represent ESD. When I am training ESD in person, I will put on these clothes, one after the other, to demonstrate exactly what ESD can do. So when you bring in ESD, I have already said that with ESD, you must always think about values. You must always think about good virtues rather. You must always think about peace. And that is why in truth, even for peace, the color that represents peace is always white. So education for sustainable development, once it is introduced, the result is always green. And green, those of you who can interpret colors, green means life. So instead of death, we bring life. We bring life because in education for sustainable development, we don't just talk about things that are as in of the world. We also bring in the aspects of spirituality because it is about God giving us the grace to manage to do the things we can do to make a difference. And so even as I'm talking to you because I didn't enable myself. God enabled me to come here to facilitate learning so that we can grow together. And hence, we must start to have a conversation on how we do things individually and collectively in order to improve the quality of life now without damaging the future. And if at all that has to happen, then we must think about the paradigm shift. We start doing things differently by involving the 3H. The first H stands for the head. The head means you have to purpose to look for information and feel it in your memory. Have it in your head. Be informed. Yeah, the Bible says, my people are perishing because of lack of knowledge. Go for it. When you get anywhere, you can go and learn. Like you have come to this platform. Just get the information. And next is the heart. After getting this information, as much as you can get it, take it to the heart. Don't leave it in the head. Because if you leave it in the head, you will just be walking around showing people the way you know, the way you have it in the head. Don't leave it in the head. Bring it to the heart so that you can resonate with it, so that you can relate with it. Attach some feelings to this information for you to be able to take it to the hands. When you take it to the hands, it means you are going to do something about the knowledge. You are going to do something about what you have believed in to be able to make a difference. And for you to be able to make this difference, you will always see results. And when you see the results, then you can say, yes, there is something happening. Because sustainability focuses on results. The first stage, when we start learning, when we start getting this information, you will get reactions. You will have people joining you, you will have people leaving you. So if you want to make a difference, you have to be persistent. You have to remain there, be consistent, and purpose to continue learning. Learn and learn and learn. And then transfer what you are learning to the heart, to others. After you have done that, go for the results. What is critical in what we are doing when we are talking about sustainability, we must always focus on the results. The young people that we are talking about, what kind of people are they now? And what kind of people will they be tomorrow? The concept of sustainability focuses on achieving human well-being and quality of life, which is pursued through the maintenance, care, and equitable use of natural and cultural resources. So that is why in Education for Sustainable Development, we will encourage you to uphold the good cultural practices that we have in our homes. Some of those cultural practices can help you so much. When you get to move to a place where, for example, they don't uphold some values, but because of the culture you were brought in, you have brought your children up with some values, your children will hold up to those values to the end. Education must encourage changes in knowledge, in skills, in values, in attitudes, to enable a more sustainable and just society for all. When we are talking about education for sustainable development, as I've already told you, it is about the head, the heart, and the hands. The head is knowledge, the heart is values and attitudes, and the hands are the skills. So for any learning to happen, for any change to happen through education, that education must provide knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes. And as we start off, remember that education for sustainable development goes beyond an idea. It goes beyond a project. It is a way of life. As we must always critically look at our situations and look for creative ways of dealing with challenges, but must always think of the impact of our decisions and actions on future generations. And so, while defining education for sustainable development, what is it? What is education for sustainable development? It is not just a project. It is not a program. Yeah? ESD is a powerful tool for fostering a mindset of sustainability. And when we are talking about sustainability, and listen to me carefully, because some of us have just concentrated on one area. And so by concentrating on one area, we are not able to see the sustainable results. When we are talking about sustainability, we must always focus on having the three spheres of sustainability working in harmony. That is the environmental protection or environmental viability sphere of sustainability, economic viability, and social equity. So we have the social sphere, the environmental sphere, and the economic sphere. When you only have the social sphere and the economic sphere, whatever you are doing is bearable. When you're just having the social sphere and the environmental sphere, whatever you are doing is just equitable. And when you are having the economic sphere and the environmental sphere, leaving out the social sphere, so whatever you are doing is simply viable. So these things are not sustainable. But for you to have something that you are doing, that you are calling that this is a sustainable activity, then it must have the three pillars working together: the environmental pillar, the economic pillar, and the social pillar. I will give you an example. For example, if you are having children or students in a school plant trees, if you give them blue gum to plant, and these children are in grade 1, they will plant that blue gum and they will nurture the blue gum, which is very good for the environment. Are we together? As it grows, of course, it is supporting the environment. But has this child seen the economic benefit of that activity? Has this child seen the social benefit of that activity? No. What if we told the children to plant fruit trees? Yeah, science has given us, with technology, we have fruits that can grow very fast. For example, we have the children plant orange trees or mango trees or pawpaw trees. They go plant the pawpaw tree, whether they are in grade 1 or 7 or 8, they nurture it, they water it, like they ensure that they are taking care of it. After 1 year or 2 years or some months, this child will see the fruits. And these fruits, the child can sell them and hold money in their hands. So they will be able to see the economic benefit of it. And these fruits, this child can take them out and share with people. Go and eat with their family members or share as a class. So they can be able to see the social benefit of the tree they planted. So the sustainability aspect is there, that the environment is taken care of because this tree is just a tree like the other one. The economic viability is there because they can make money, they can see money from what they have planted because they can sell the produce. And then the social equity is there because they can share the fruits. So that is just one example. Now, the heart of ESD is about fostering a mindset of sustainability that touches on these 3 dimensions: the environment, the society, the economy. And because we usually talk about society, forgetting that when we are talking about society, ethics must be in, I have added ethics. When these children are planting these trees, our society is degrading when it comes to matters values. For you to be able to help these children embrace values once more on matters ethics, can they then label these trees with a value or a virtue that they can grow in themselves? For example, if I have planted my mango tree and I am going to water this mango tree until it becomes mature, can I name my mango tree love? Because I want to grow the value of love in me. When I am watering this mango tree, I'm not just watering a mango tree, I'm also watering love in me. So as the tree is growing, love is growing in me. And if we instill this and continue reminding them that whatever you have planted is not just a tree, but you've also planted a value that you are supposed to grow in yourself. If it is honesty that is a challenge, can I grow honesty by planting this tree, nurture the tree as I nurture honesty in me? So that is the essence. If you consider the 3 aspects to be overlapping circles of the same size, the area of overlap in the center is where we have human well-being. And so that is where there is sustainability. And now, what is ESD? It is important for me now to define ESD the way the books define ESD. According to UNESCO 2018, education for sustainable development refers to education that aims to empower and equip the current and future generations to meet their needs using a balanced, integrated approach to the economic, social, and environmental dimensions of sustainable development. In other words, what are we saying? Education for sustainable development is education that will enable us, to do what we are able to do today to benefit ourselves without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. So whatever we are doing, we should be able to enable our children and grandchildren to manage their own lives when we are not there. So if we are doing things that bring down values instead of promoting values, what are we giving to the next generation? So the roots of what we are giving our children in education really matters. We must ensure that at the roots, we have knowledge, we have skills, we have values, we have attitudes. And as the tree grows, let us see the fruits coming out through inspiration, through innovation, and going beyond the obvious. Now we have the key elements of ESD. The first one is holistic learning. When we talk about holistic learning, we are talking about developing the whole person. Holistic learning. The next one is global citizenship. Now, right now, I am in Canada. I mean, if I wasn't prepared well, I could have just gotten a shock. Especially now that I am in a country that has the 4 seasons that we learn in geography. We have summer, we have winter, we have fall, and we have, the other season is called what? Spring, yes. During spring, there is little rain. Yeah, somebody to help Winnie. Please tell Winnie to join the meeting with audio. I think she's raising up her hand because she cannot hear us. Thank you, James, for reminding the team that the meeting will be running every Sunday. So global citizenship. If I didn't have some information about what happens in other parts of the world, I could just get a shock. That is why I have started a program where I am sensitizing people on what is in these first world countries. When you send your children to Australia, when you send your children to America, to Canada, have you prepared them sufficiently before they go? Because what we are given, the first things that we are given in our African countries, that is not real the truth that is in where these developed countries. So it is important for our children to be globally aware, to be global citizens, so that they can fit in, or so that we can fit in any place. The third element of ESD is critical thinking. We must always be fast, quick, critical thinkers. And I thank God because of the CBC, the competency-based curriculum in Kenya. I was one of the national master trainers for CBC. And those people that I trained CBC, I believe they are doing it well. Because CBC is kind of ESD, since it brings out the aspects of competencies, critical thinking, yeah, all those, I can't remember all of them one by one, but critical thinking is one of them. Communication and collaboration, creativity, yeah, being innovative and all that. Being informed, yeah, somebody is saying something. Benedetta, can you remind us? CBC, what are the core competencies? Who can remind us? Catherine?
Digital literacy.
Yes.
Self-efficacy.
Self-efficacy, yes.
Communication and collaboration.
Communication and collaboration, learning to learn. Thank you, Victor. Another one?
Citizenship.
Citizenship, good. Another one?
Creativity and imagination.
Problem solving.
Creativity and imagination.
Creativity and imagination, problem solving, all those. That is awesome. Awesome. Kenya, please hold on, because that is going to help our children. So the key elements of ESD, as I've said, holistic learning, global citizenship, critical thinking. If you unpack these three, you will have so many things. Like we have just tried to unpack what is in the competencies that we are having in CBC. They're actually in here, all of them. And so we must think about how we can assess these competencies, the curriculum that will bring in all this that I'm talking about with a lot of ease. We must always focus on professional development, because when we are bringing about transformation, and when we are thinking about having a transformed country or a transformed world, it is important to teach and teach and teach and teach. Sometimes you force for people to just learn, because once you've given the information, someone will always, I mean, either receive it or put it somewhere there at the back. As in, one day it will come to the front and they will realize that what you are telling them was very important. So when you have something to give out in terms of developing other people, just give it out. And then we have also to think about learning environments. There is something I will share later about learning environments, because I have visited several schools in Canada, both primary, kinder, and that is elementary schools and secondary schools. I would really want to share what is in Canada so that we can see if we can have something similar to that in our country. For sure, to tell you, our people back in Africa, I'm saying Africa because I have people here from Ghana and South Africa. I want to tell you that if we had good leadership in our country, we could be very far, 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 far. Why? Because we are hardworking. We love work. We can do anything in terms of working with our own hands. And if our children are given the right skills, values, and attitudes, then they will be very far. When my son went to his class, even my daughter, when they went to their classes, it was like they are far much ahead, as in they are so learned, they know, the teachers just loved them because they seemed to have more, to be more informed and better equipped when it comes to knowledge, skills, and values. And that is why I'm encouraging you to just tell you that tuendelee, let's continue like that, because what we have is of value. So don't despise our education system. It is very good. It's only that we need to improve on a few things so that we can also become world class, like the learning environment. That is something I will be talking about later after I've finished the series of, or rather in the process of talking about education for sustainable development. Now, these elements are interconnected and empower learners to become change makers in their communities. Yeah, the three that I've said, Very, very important. Take note of that. Now, what is the significance of education for sustainable development? We are talking about why ESD is important. It is important because we are looking forward to have a sustainable future. It is important because we are addressing global challenges. It is important because we are empowering change makers. You are here, you are a change maker. You can start something and transform the world. ESD equips us to build a sustainable future, tackle global challenges, and empowers individuals to make a real difference. MAD, go and make a difference. And for us to do it well, I'm just giving an example using environmental education. Can we have environmental education streamlined in all the other learning subjects in our schools? Yes, it is possible. We can have the art students bringing in environmental education in the process of doing their art, biology the same, language the same, geography the same, social studies the same, design and technology the same. I mean, if you placed education for sustainable development at the center there where we have environmental education, this is what we are saying, that education for sustainable development is not supposed to be a separate subject, kind of. We are supposed to integrate ESD in every learning area, in every subject in our schools, so that when students get to class, they are very much aware that whatever they are learning is supposed to help them become better citizens, better global citizens. It is supposed to enable them become critical thinkers. It is going to enable them to become problem solvers. With this art, I can be a problem solver. With this social studies, I can be an innovator, and so on and so forth. Because it should be able to help them get to know that with the knowledge they are receiving, they can earn a living out of it, they can take care of the planet, and they can also take care of others. Because education for sustainable development is all about social, economic, and environment. Taking care of yourself, taking care of others, and taking care of the planet. Now, when we talk about education for sustainable development, we cannot leave out the Sustainable Development Goals. So, in the process of the series of the lessons that we have prepared for you, we are going to talk about Sustainable Development Goals. And now, aligning ESD with SDGs is very, very critical, because we will be creating synergy, impacting communities in the process. So if you look at this picture, we are talking about transformative education. And if at all we have to talk about transformative education, it will take us back to Sustainable Development Goal number 4. And where is ESD mentioned? If you go to target 4.7, you will see education for sustainable development. Now let's connect the dots between ESD and the SDGs. I'll have my friend, my colleague James, will be talking about SDGs in detail so that you understand what we are talking about. So when that time comes, you will listen to James, because ESD aligns seamlessly with the Sustainable Development Goals, creating a powerful synergy. We will explore how this alignment impacts our communities and our world. Sometimes we don't know what is around us. Some of us, went through the phase of the Millennium Development Goals without even knowing or even hearing about MDGs. Now we are talking about SDGs that were put in place in 2015, and by 2030, we should have achieved all the 17 goals. And yet some of us don't even have that knowledge of what the Sustainable Development Goals are and what are they. Right now, we are talking about ESD for 2030. So if it is ESD for 2030, we are simply focusing on the Sustainable Development Goals, because the Sustainable Development Goals are supposed to be achieved by 2030. So can we be part of the team that is joining the world to ensure that we are achieving the 17 Sustainable Development Goals by 2030? Education for sustainable development is an enabler of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. In short, this is what we have in the SDGs. Goal number 1 is on no poverty. By 2030, nobody should be poor. Goal number 2 is zero hunger. By 2030, nobody should be saying that, oh, we are hungry or whatever. Good health and well-being, goal number 3. Goal number 4, quality education. Goal number 5, gender equity. Goal number 6, clean water and sanitation. Goal number 7, affordable and clean energy. This is very, very critical. I'll be talking about each of these goals. Decent work and economic growth. When we talk about decent work, somebody was trying to challenge me like, oh, going to the garden is not decent. No, going to the garden is very decent and very noble, because you're not going to kill someone to get food. You're not going to steal to get food. You're simply planting your own. That is very, 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 very noble and decent. Goal number 9 is industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Goal number 10, reduced inequalities. Goal number 11, sustainable cities and communities. Number 12, responsible consumption and production, where I will introduce to you a term that we call prosumer. Produce and consume. Produce what you can consume. Do not produce for others. If you are producing children that are arrogant, can you consume that as a country? If you are producing graduates that are, you understand what I'm saying? Can you consume that? Goal number 13 that we have really delved into deeper and deeper is climate action. And I want to encourage you to continue doing the small things that you're doing, because they are making a difference. Goal number 14 is life below water, blue economy. Let us talk about life below water, because there is a lot of resources under the waters. How are we going to take care of the water? Ensure that our rivers are clean, our oceans are clean. Can we have students that are next to oceans or rivers go there to clean the rivers for the sake of the animals and plants that live in water? Life on the land, yeah? How are we taking care of the environment, the plants, the things that are on the land, the animals, the cows, the cats, the birds? Can you feed the birds using the trees that are in your compound or in your school? That is what we are talking about. Goal number 16 is peace, justice, and strong institutions. There is no way we can have strong institutions if we don't have peace and justice. And finally, goal number 17 is partnerships for the goals. And that is why we are here, to partner, for us to move education for sustainable development to be an enabler for the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Because with ESD, we can achieve all this. With ESD, we can transform the world. And if we can transform the world, we are simply saying we can tackle the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And so Sustainable Development Goals are at the core of education for sustainable development. Yeah? This is what we are talking about. If you look at this tree, yeah, if you look at this tree, you can clearly see what I have been talking about. This is kind of a summary of all that I've been giving you. Because in the content, we have the SDGs. And if we have the SDGs in the content, to actualize on these SDGs, then we must bring in education for sustainable development, which focuses on the social, the environmental, and the economic aspects of sustainability, for us to have a strong tree that can be able to bear fruits. So the Sustainable Development Goals need to be integrated in what we are doing in education for sustainable development, so that as a school or as a class or as a person, you can run with one sustainable development goal and ensure that you are doing things around that sustainable development goal until you see the results using education for sustainable development. We are talking about local and global initiatives. What are the local initiatives that you have started? What are the global initiatives that you have started? Like the learning session online that we are having every Sunday, this is a global initiative because I have shared the link widely, and already I have people from other countries joining the meeting. So sometimes we say, if your own cannot take it, give it to the world. So if my own people will not accept to take it and use it, there are people who are ready to use it. So can you take advantage of this and make use of it? Because the SDGs are at the core of ESD. They guide our efforts to integrate sustainability into education and drive local and global initiatives. Let's see how we can contribute to these global goals through the ESG journey. One way we can contribute is by joining the ESD family in Kenya. So I initiated the ESD family in Kenya in 2018 when the Israel government sent me to the United Kingdom to a festival that they call the Limud Festival for the Jews, to go there and talk about education for sustainable development. Why? Because what I'm giving you is what I was given in Israel and more. When I went to Israel in 2016 to learn about education for sustainable development, somebody paid for my course. The government of Israel did. All that I did was to get my air ticket to and fro. I was taken care of for a whole month, eating, enjoying, traveling everywhere in Israel, knowing all the parts of the country, you know, free of charge. And if I was given free of charge, why can't I give free of charge? So when I'm talking about education for sustainable development, transforming the world, that is exactly what you can see here. We have at the moment, the institution that I was working for, Kenya Education Management Institute, which is the capacity building agency of the Ministry of Education. At the moment, at the front of driving ESD in Kenya, especially for learning institutions. So if you are interested to have your school become a model center for education for sustainable development, I will encourage you to go and visit KEMI, Kenya Education Management Institute, and express the interest that you want to be part of the team. Because I think right now they have over 200 ESD model centers in the country. In fact, more, because we have primary schools, kindergarten schools, we have teacher training colleges, we have universities, we have technical training institutions, we have both private and public universities. And I mean, you can be part. And beyond that, we have RCEs, regional centers of education, that are run by UNESCO. Is it UNESCO or something? Yes, I think so. And especially NEMA is there. NEMA is leading the process of RCEs. So if you are not an institution, you can talk to NEMA so that you can join the RCEs for you to be part of the conversation of how we can transform the country or how we can transform the world together. Because ESD can transform the world. And when you are there, you can start this initiative in your learning institution. You can start this initiative in your church. You can start this as an initiative in your community. And while there, look for a way to learn more so that you can mentor and coach whoever you have brought on board. If you can see the last picture here, this is me in a t-shirt, Education for Sustainable Development. I used to work with branded t-shirts with ESD because I knew when people see that they can connect with me and really get to know that what I am doing is serious, is not something just as in something that will pass by the wind. So mentoring and coaching is very, very important. Even if I am in Canada, I can still help you when it comes to coaching and mentorship, because we can meet online and be able to demystify some of the things that are not very clear. The Kenya Education Management Institute, through the Ministry of Education, of course, recognizes the model centers in Kenya. Yeah, when I left, we had already conducted one national award activity where we awarded several learning institutions. And last year when I left, they conducted their second ESD award, and it was big. So this is growing big and bigger and bigger. So far, no registration to be part of the family. I don't know if they will introduce registration with time, but when I started the model centers back then in 2018, we were just training for free. And even up to last year, everything has been done like that for free. Going forward, I don't know what will happen, but let's give. Let's join the family and you will learn even more. So we are almost getting to the end. What we have done is we have defined ESD. We have looked at the significance of education for sustainable development. And we have introduced the aspect of aligning with the Sustainable Development Goals. Our key takeaways: we have just begun our journey towards a more sustainable and harmonious world. And for us to do that, we have to come together because there is unity in what we are talking about. You cannot do ESD alone. You have to collaborate. I usually use the term collaboration. collaborate more, and compete less. In ESG, there is no competition because everything that you're doing is solving a challenge in one way or another. Yeah? There is power in education. Use education, educate others. Look for where education is being offered and learn. And even as we are talking about education for sustainable development, as I said today, I was just introducing this to you. I want to request that you join me every Sunday because I have a series of 20 lessons free of charge that you can walk with me. So for us to get deeper into the transformative power of education for sustainable development. Because teamwork makes the dream work. This is a dream of transforming the world. And remember, I cannot do it alone as Christine. We can do it together. And because this was a learning session, before I give you an opportunity to say something, I want you to know that there are 4 ways we learn. The first way is through challenging experiences. Yeah? Challenging experiences. Most of the learning is under the waterline. When you have a challenging experience, you will look for a way to navigate through it. And so, in the process, you'll become creative, innovative, you become a problem solver, and that, instead of becoming a challenge, it becomes an opportunity. And so, for ESD, write this down. Every challenge is an opportunity to thrive. The next way we can learn is through opportunities to practice. When you learn like we have done, you have been learning in the context. Can we now go and try to look for opportunities to practice? Even if I said, educate others, can you have an opportunity to go and tell others something small about education for sustainable development? Because practice feeds high performance. If you don't practice, you cannot perform above. The third way is creative conversations. Our world is others. You cannot do it on your own. Start a conversation in the staff room, in the office where you are many seated together. Conversation is the lubrication of learning and development. Instead of talking about politics that you cannot change in the country, instead of backbiting others, instead of talking about that child who always scores a D, yeah, having a negative attitude towards that kind of child, can we talk about something constructive on how we are going to integrate sustainable development goal number 2 or goal number 5 or goal number 4 in teaching mathematics, in the process of learning the languages, in the process of learning social studies, and so on and so forth. So let's have creative conversations. Remember, I said it is time, it's a high time we start having conversations. The fourth way is reflection. It is always time, it is always important to sit back and reflect. Experience plus reflection is equals to learning that lasts. And so at this juncture, I want to give you an opportunity to write down your individual reflections. Maybe you have a book next to you. Can you write down something? Write down something. What have you learned today? What are you going to carry on? Reflect in the workflow. with others and away from others. So it is time for us to reflect. And even as we reflect, let's go to the chat. Let's go to the chat and ask me questions. Raise up your hand. Raise up your hand and ask a question. Thank you, Sylvester Otieno. I have seen your message. I will be taking screenshots of these messages just in case I don't have them. Now, if you have any question, you can raise up your hand, unmute yourself, and ask the question. Ask the question. In the meantime, Kennedy Kunani, are you in the room? Kennedy Kunani, are you in the room? Please prepare, because I want you to say something about the peace initiatives that we have in the country. Thank you so much. Rose, you've said, you are asking what are some of the activities done by ESD? There are quite a number of activities done by ESD. I will be sharing a Facebook link on the ESD model centers in the country so that you look at what the schools are doing. Because we have a WhatsApp wall where we have more than 800 participants. And in that wall, we share success stories. So because I want these success stories to be known to the world, I take them to the Facebook wall so that anybody can get them at any time. So I will share that link, Rose, or reach out to me through my number, 07. Use WhatsApp, please, because if you use a normal SMS, I might not get the SMS. 0724717158 is my Kenyan number. I don't want to forget it. So you can WhatsApp me through that number and I'll be able to share that link with you. Yeah, Daniel Ambai, yeah, please send me this message in my WhatsApp. Send me that message using WhatsApp so that I can add you to the group. Those of you who want them to be added, I will add you to that WhatsApp group because I created it. You're welcome. Thank you. Mordecai, you've said the training is insightful. If there are any support reading materials, please share. I will. At the moment, please get to my YouTube channel because I share quite a lot about ESD using my YouTube channel. Just look for Dr. Christine Obaigwa Owinyi or Dr. Obaigwa or Christine Obaigwa. If you Google me, by the way, you will find me. So if you Google me, you will be able to see my YouTube channel and follow. Please subscribe to that YouTube channel so that you can be able to benefit. I'm doing it for everyone, not just for myself. I want to see anybody who has raised up their hands. Any question being asked apart from that one? Okay, thank you so much. I will go back to read your comments. Or let me ask James. James, please, you can read some of the comments that have been posted, if you're there. Remember what Mother Teresa said, that not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. So let us start with what we have. Start with where the small things, the resources that you have, the small things that you have. Start where you are, and you will be able to make a big difference. If I give you a testimony on how I started, you will believe that anybody can make a difference. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. That is what Martin Luther King Jr. said. And the Bible in the book of Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Remember, to be successful, you will have to sacrifice, you will have to risk, you have to be consistent in what you want to do. Thank you, Victor. I will give you time. You have to be disciplined. You will be rejected. I will tell you, several times I've been rejected, but I have never given up because I know what God has put in my heart is something that can transform the world. And that is why I am always persisting, persuading people, come and listen, come and listen. You will be criticized. Criticism will be there. People will say, oh, anajipendekeza. Let them say, but go on and make the difference. You will fail several times. When you fail, you will rise up and move on. That is the only way you will be successful. And do your best and let God do the rest. Thank you very much. I will end up here. And I stop sharing the screen. There were several people that hands are up. Let's start with Victor, then Munga. Victor, what do you have to say?
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I think you can hear me.
Yes.
Yeah, I just have a little insight. I think I've been to a number of ESD trainings, and even Giraffe Center, we do the ESD training. But more importantly is that I think knowledge is power when shared. And I appreciate Doctor for having this time with this group. And always, I know I'm a trainer on ESD, but I still listen to all other trainers of education for sustainable development. And I appreciate for taking your time. And the teachers who are within, probably who are in the groups, I just want to insist that don't always overshadow or probably think of I've been trained and now I can't listen to any other thing. But always different trainers have different, there's a way they put up the points that it's important that always participate in all the trainings that come up. But thank you so much. And everybody in Kenya, we're having a good night. I don't know at your point where you are. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Munga, unmute yourself.
Thank you, madam. I hope you are doing fine.
I'm good, thank you.
We are glad for the information. And some of us just started for this information. We actually need more of it because we are junior in the whole policy. So we will always be there every Sunday to get more from knowledgeable people like you. Otherwise, thank you and good night.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Somebody wants to voice their feelings? Somebody wants to voice their feelings? Let me invite James, you'll talk last. Kennedy Kunani, where are you? Kennedy Kunani, did you leave? Okay. James Moracha, you can unmute yourself.
Thank you, Christine, Dr. for the insightful lessons. I really appreciate. Now, I might have missed these during the lesson. Perhaps I would have loved to know, how do schools join ESD?
If you want to join the ESD movement in the country, you just inbox me. I add you to the movement group. But if a school wants to be a model center for education for sustainable development, I was in charge when I was in Kenya, but now I have left Kenya. You contact Kenya Education Management Institute. Maybe you can inbox me so that I send you the person in charge right now, so that they can incorporate you as a model center that needs to be trained. Because before you become that model center, we will want to train you for the students to start doing things differently. Okay?
All right, all right.
Good. Welcome,
Thank
Murat. Yeah. So next, let's have James, my partner. James has been working with SDGs for Africa, and he is now doing greater things outside there. And I requested him to walk this journey with me because I know he's very knowledgeable. He's my mentee in ESD. And because I know that he has something to give the world, I will be walking this journey with him. James, please say hi to the team.
All right. Thank you so much, Daktari. I'm using two lines. I have one on the screen, you can see me, and there is one I'm using the voice. I hope I'm clear. So thank you, Daktari. I've worked with Dr. Christine for 3 years when I joined Kemi and Africa for SDGs team as an ESD support staff, and she has really mentored me very well. And through her work, I was able to be recognized and got a scholarship in the US, which I'm pursuing, and her referral to the program also helped me attain a lot. So with me here is to make sure I support the kind of background of planning of the program to make sure the series is successful. Dr. Christine has already spoken a lot about ESD. I won't say much, but we look forward to interacting. Next session, just to remind you again, is on ESD principles. Same time, same place here. Thank you so much, Dr. Christine. Back to you. I will be interacting with them as we go by. Asante sana. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ruth, you have something to say? James, please post your phone number so that they can talk to you because I'm not in Kenya. Post your phone number. Yes, Ruth?
Daktari, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yes, I wanted just to ask you, I want my school to be a model center. So how can I join?
Good. So James will help you because James was part of the team that was supporting Kemi to register schools for that wanted to be model centers. So reach out to James. James, spell out your number, please.
Yes, I'll be doing so. And Doctor, just to add, because I've seen many leaders ask that question here, I will be linking the teachers with the ESD coordinator, who is my friend and who also we serve together in many other occasions, to see how to reach out to the school in person and to see how we can support that school to mainstream the program in here. If we need your support to support the school, even from away, I'm sure the schools will also be reaching you. Asante Daktari. Also, again, to recognize the Kemi, they awarded me with the Awaria Award, ESD Warrior Award here in Kenya last 2 months, and I'm so happy to be recognized by the ministry for my work. Thank you, Dr. Christine.
Thank you so much. You see, my child is good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, James. I'm so proud of you, and I know you're going places. Anybody else? That is the award. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Wow, awesome. You see, with ESD, there are awards. I told you from the beginning, I got an honorary doctorate degree on top of what I have. So if you can call me doctor. That is what God can do because of ESD. So start with what you have. Start from where you are, and you can be able to make this difference. I encourage you all to actively participate, share your insights, and learn from the diverse perspectives that each of us bring to this platform. Your engagement and contributions are what will make this journey truly rich and rewarding. As we conclude today's session, I sincerely hope that the discussions and the insights shared have sparked your interest and curiosity. I warmly invite you to join us again next Sunday at the same time as we continue to unravel the layers of education for sustainable development. Let us stay connected, keep the conversations going, and I look forward to seeing each of you next week. Come with someone else, yeah? Come with your staff members, come with your children, come with your spouse. Together, let's embark on this path towards a more sustainable and educative world. Thank you all once again for your participation today. And as we wind up, I want to say, see you next Sunday. And before we go, do we have a pastor in the house to bless us with a word of prayer? Timothy, Dr. Timothy Kilonzo. Thank you so much, Daktari. Unmute yourself. Daktari, unmute yourself. Dr. Timothy Kilonzo, unmute yourself. Your hand is raised up. I wish we could be able to unmute for you, but we can't. Daktari, unmute yourself.
Yes, I have.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, we can pray. And thank you so much for the training. It's quite a blessing. We can pray. Father in heaven, we thank you for this session we have had with Dr. We thank you for the training session in ESD. We thank you that we are going to benefit and put into implementation what we have learned. Thank you once more and bless all the participants. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Thank you for turning up in large numbers. I'm so humbled. Thank you, and God bless you. My friends from South Africa, where are you? Because of the numbers, I'm not able to see you. My friends from Ghana, are you there? In Violata.
Yes, I'm present. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Welcome. Welcome. You want to say something?
Just to appreciate your wholehearted sharing to us. I love it, and I will want to join that particular group. As per my profession, I'm a geography teacher, so I'm very, very much interested in that.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, and goodbye, good friends. In Canada, it's 1. I know you are going to sleep. What is the time?
9 p.m.
9? Oh, 9. Okay, good night. Enjoy the night. See you next Sunday. Bye-bye.
Night too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Come with someone next time.